Hello, folks. Hope you're well. If you are loving the podcast, long-term fan, you've maybe been listening to a few episodes and like it, please make sure that you're subscribing to my Sunday Thoughts email newsletter that I send every Sunday. I give some perspective on self-improvement, and it's just some nice thoughts on a calming day. Also, if you're loving the podcast, I do a paid subscription of 99p a month where you get an extra episode on a Friday, which is a little bit more personal, and obviously a bonus episode, and any exclusive first access to any projects that I'm working on as well. So, if you want to do that, go for it. Otherwise, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Self-Improvement Project. I hope everybody is well. I hope you are enjoying the freshness of spring, that it brings the change in light, the change in colour, the change in tone around how we feel. Getting up and it being lighter, you get home and it's lighter than it used to be maybe a month ago or so. So I hope you are enjoying that change. I hope you've been enjoying some of the recent episodes. A lot about what I've been talking about recently has been around a few different things. It's been about simplicity. It's been about balancing. It's been about lifestyle. And as always, it's just about that perspective that we seem to get lost with, I think, a lot of the time when we're deep into our own lives and have tunnel vision around everything that we're doing. So I think at the moment what I'm feeling about the podcast and how I'm finding it is that I'm providing perspective when you need it. So I hope that has been useful for you and continues to be. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking all about balancing our macros. Now, what do I mean by macros? Our macros are our big things in life. The foundations, the bases that we need to nail in order to have a well-balanced life. Now, I'm firmly on the side of a balanced life rather than extremes in the other. I'm going to take this stance until proven otherwise, but maybe it's just the moment I am in my life, this is what I believe in. And that's the value that I hold. And I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. And at the same time, I feel like there is a need for it in the world, with everyone getting so hyper intense around specifics. We sometimes lose track of the really simple things in life that make life what it is. If you think of the classic case of someone that reaches fame really quickly, their life gets so busy and extreme that everything else falls to the wayside. And then there's the classic cliche of when they have a normal day and they're doing normal things, that, oh, this is actually what I enjoy doing in life. So, my goal today is to encourage you to balance all of the macros in your life. When I talk about macros, I think of looking after our health, being really plain, simple, and boring with our sleep. Going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time. That is all you need to do, to start with anyway. The dangerous thing about this is talking about something and then getting really specific on it. That's not my goal here. my goal here is to get you to think about everything that balances everything out. Let's actually start with analysing our life just now. If you feel like pausing to do that, that is okay. You can split it into a mind map, you can split it into quadrants, whatever you want. I remember there was something years ago I did, and I would split it into 4, I think I turned it into 5 different areas, but it was my health, my wealth, my productivity, and there was one around fun as well. Those quadrants can be something that you use, but I think that there's an element of relationships as well that should come under that social side of things. But to keep it clear, to keep it nice and simple, if we start with our health, we need to think about our diet, our sleep, our exercise, and potentially, based on previous episodes as well, thinking and considering meditation. An episode I did recently for the subscribers was around meditation, and I talked around how meditation is like what exercise is to the body. And that is enough justification for me to see how I can fit it in. I've been inconsistent with it, but the importance of it is really, really key. But I guess the big question here is, how is your health? How is your diet? How is your exercise physically? How is your sleep? How is your meditation? How do you feel about it? The instant reaction is to go to the things that we are not happy with, the things that we feel like we could do better. But once we get past that, just acknowledge it, just be an observer, think of the things that you're actually quite happy with. You need to, and this is maybe a good reminder at this point in the episode, that you need to accept that it will never be perfect. When you're trying to balance everything, or even if you're trying to be successful in one thing, it's never going to be perfect. There will always be something that you will strive for, and the danger of that is not appreciating how good you have it. The next one that's on my mind is work. Work has lots of different facets to it. It primarily gives you money. The big question that has been riding over the last few decades is, does it give you purpose? Does it give you meaning? But I like to think about work now as well. Another strand being, how does it impact on your lifestyle? Is it allowing you to live the lifestyle that you desire? Maybe if you have kids, is it allowing you to work around that when they are so important to you? Does it impact on your relationships and social life, which again we can talk a little bit about shortly. But again, another idea that comes to mind here is, how can you allow them all to complement each other? If you have to work on the weekend, how do you facilitate for your social life so that it's healthy moving forward? The obvious one as well here is the impact that work can have on your health. I just think of the stereotypical very overweight American businessman who never sees his family and eats terribly because he wants lots of money. Again, a very specific stereotype, but one to paint the picture here around what impact it can have on your entire life. I think it's important here to state that there is no shame in having a very ordinary and well-balanced life. At the end of the day, if we think back to that celebrity example and reaching fame, is that is what a lot of people really want. That simplicity to just have that little bit of choice around getting to do the things that they want to do and not feeling that stress of living up to the expectations of what they should do. Now there's that element of socializing, those relationships. Understanding where you fit in as a socialite is one of life's biggest questions. There will be times in your life where you feel like you don't fit in, that you do fit in. There will be friends that come into your life that fall out of your life and then come back. And it's just one of these things to do with the journey of your social life. We've also even got spouses and family and the dynamics of that. And again, one of the most common things that in our lifetime that we're aware of is that the impact of work can have on spouse relationships as well. With anything, you're sacrificing one of them. If you work too much, you're sacrificing your relationship. If you spend too much time with your spouse, you're sacrificing your career ambitions. What one are you most comfortable with? Where can you find the balance where you can get the most out of both that makes you happy? These are the things that we need to consider when we're looking for that ultimate desire of having a very ordinary and simple life. I think those are my main bases for now. There might be something around flow, novelty, variety, hobbies that I feel like we need to integrate into our daily life. I feel like I might be quite nuanced though with I quite enjoy exercise and view that as a hobby and can view that as fun. I perhaps need to explore different examples, maybe such as music or creative elements that give you that outlet. Even think of like art, drama. These things give you that outlet that nothing else can. And there's moments in your life where you need that outlet to balance everything up. I remember years ago I had a job that I hated, and then I took up beach volleyball, and I did that once or twice a week, and the difference it made to my mental state, because it was so novel and it was so fun, that it was a form of escapism. And that's okay to explore those elements as well. So I'm going to wrap there, guys. I think that's enough to provoke thought, give you ideas around things that you can implement, try, experiment with in your own life to help balance those bases, balance those macros that I talk about. And you guys have your own life experience that you're able to be specific on the things that you really like. The things that you know, the things that mentally, physically, genetically, you feel like you can implement and have success with. And run with it. There is no better time than now to implement these things. But again, remember the end goal here is the ordinary, is the simple, is the balanced life. This episode is not going to help you if you want to go really extreme and narrow on something. But like I say, my belief is that the world needs more of this at this time. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, guys, thank you so much for listening. It still blows my mind every day when I see how many people listen to this stuff. So I'm eternally grateful to you. And if you ever want to write to me or ask about a topic or want me to explore a topic, I'm more than happy to. So thanks as always, guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers. Hey guys, me again. I hope you enjoyed that episode, and if you're not ready for the Becoming Unstuck in 30 Days self-led course quite yet, why don't you try my free ebook I created? 5 simple steps to improve yourself and your life. I made this during the very first lockdown of the pandemic in the early days of the self-improvement project. It's a quick go-to when you're feeling unsure what to work on when improving yourself or your lifestyle. And the great starting point if you're trying to figure out how to live a more fulfilling and simple life. The link for this will be in the show notes for you. Have a good one.